Welcome to the Jaron Jarvis channel. I am Jaron Jarvis. Today, I would like to introduce to you, all my teeth have fallen out. Do you know how many teeth are in an adult human's mouth? Because I do. 32. There are 32 teeth, and yesterday I lost my last one. It started about a month ago, July 14, 2018, to be exact. I woke up, ate breakfast, washed my face and brushed my teeth like I normally would, except, whilst brushing, one of my molars popped out. It flew into the porcelain sink and clattered down the drain. I should have tried to grab it, but was too dumbfounded to move at the time. As someone who's always placed a precedence on dental hygiene, I think I acted accordingly. I've never even gotten a cavity, for God's sake. That sense of shock dwindled rapidly after I realized losing my teeth was going to be a daily event. It became just another routine, expected. They didn't always fall out while I was alone in my bathroom, either. One of my incisors got lodged in an apple during lunch. A canine flew into a tissue when I blew my nose in the library. During a date with a girl from my biology class, a cuspid toppled against her lips when I kissed her goodnight. She doesn't talk to me anymore, although she can't remember why. Throughout all of this, the strangest thing has been the lack of blood. Not once has a drop of crimson liquid followed the loss of a tooth. It's like my sockets stopped getting circulation or something. Maybe that's why no one has seemed to notice. Sure, initially they do, but ask them an hour later if they see anything wrong with my face and they'll almost definitely say, no. Why? Did something happen to it? I've had to change over to soft foods. Yogurt, cheeses, oatmeal, and white bread mostly. Vegetables take too much grinding and meat takes too much tearing. I'm hungry, yet I can't eat what I want, and nothing I can satisfies me. The only morsels I seem to crave are the ones that used to have teeth. It's strange, but what can I say? Maybe a psychologist would be able to figure out my situation and give a definition to it, but I'd rather not be labeled. I'm toothless now, and that seems good enough. My last one, a lower central incisor, fell out yesterday evening while I attempted to eat a cheese and mayo sandwich. It's gross, I know, but I'm a poor college kid and they were the only things in my fridge that I could still eat. At least I thought I could, until the final tooth dropped into my lap. I stared at it in disbelief, mouth ajar, with bread and cheese clinging to my gums. So that's it, I thought, and raced to the bathroom to look into the mirror. My gums were pink, rounded, and smooth, a baby's gums before teeth have broken through. I swiped my tongue across them and shivered. The slickness felt weird. Since the ordeal started, I had tried my best to avoid looking at anything that might show my reflection. But now, at the point of no return, a stranger stared back at me. My eyes were sunken and cheeks hollow. The skin on my face was stretched tight and slightly yellow, like tea-stained paper. It was too much to bear. I knew, regardless of what I saw, no one would recognize anything abnormal about my appearance. As tears started trickling down my cheeks, I went to turn off the light above the mirror. But before I could, my image rippled and I froze. It began to fade, then swell, then waver, as if I was looking into water not glass. Eventually though, my reflection settled. The person looking back at me was lean and rejuvenated, with skin that almost seemed to glow with life. I shook my head, discouraged. This was a trick. I was seeing what everyone else saw, a fake husk. I exhaled audibly and spit on the mirror in disgust. That's when my image smiled, showing rows of curved fangs, and I staggered back, cringing against the bathroom door. Then the thing began to stroll towards me. No stop. I stammered. But it continued, unperturbed, until it stood inches from the glass while I cowered in the corner. It said something, but I couldn't hear what. It breathed onto the glass and wrote in the fog, "No meal is ever free, David." Then it unfurled a long, purple tongue bristled with grotesque, grey growths, and licked its lips. I screamed and it grinned. Frantically, I turned and tried the door. But no matter how hard I shoved, it wouldn't budge. There was a shattering, sucking sound behind me and I slowly turned, tendons creaking in my neck. It was coming into the bathroom and it smelled like rotten meat. A leg protruded from the mirror, then the other, followed by its arms, torso, and finally its head. As horrified as I was, I couldn't look away from my reflection's emergence. After cracking its neck, my doppelganger sighed. "How nice it is to be free," it said in a voice that reminded me of a snake's hiss. "Gods, it has been long." Wah 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 wah, my words wouldn't formulate. It was like a fuse had blown in my brain. Or, "Are you having a little trouble talking?" Trouble came out as twubble. It clicked its tongue against its fangs and cackled briefly before regaining its dark composure. "Come here," it demanded. I went, heart racing, one reluctant step at a time. My body wasn't listening to me anymore. Soon I was in front of it, and it caressed my cheek with a freezing hand. A moment later, it lifted my chin so we could look eye to eye. But it had no eyes, only mirror-like orbs. I shrieked and attempted to break away, but it held me tight by the chin, its fingers squeezing hard enough that I thought my skin would rip off. Why the hell did I come to the bathroom to look at my toothless mouth? I wondered helplessly. "Because I made you," it hissed, with breath that stank of death. "We have feasts to find, you and I. So, let us begin, shall we?" It wrenched out one of its curved fangs, forced my mouth open like a parent force-feeding a child, then shoved it into my lower gum. As if it was a plant taking root, the fang sunk into my pink, soft flesh. My image did this over and over, until my mouth was filled and it's barren. "That's better," it said pleasantly, and released me. I toppled to the tile floor and began to sob. The new implants in my mouth felt foreign and dirty. "TSK, TSK, TSK. It ticked, shaking its head. "There's no time for that." It leaned over, hands on its hips, and whispered inches from my ear, "It's time to wake up." And I jumped awake, almost falling off the couch where I had eaten the cheese and mayo sandwich. I glanced around wildly, expecting to see my reflection hiding somewhere in the living room. But it wasn't there, and all my teeth were still gone. No fangs had replaced them. Relieved, I went to bed. This morning has been interesting. I woke up more energized than I have been in weeks. It could be because I slept well, but I believe it's because of the new growths. I can't stop dragging my tongue over the raised bumps sprouting from my gums. I know it's probably a coincidence that they started coming back after that nightmare. But, to be honest, I don't think I care. Soon, I'll be able to eat meat again. So much meat. The thought is already making my mouth water. I wonder if Damien's deli will be open. It's been about a month since I've been. His pork chops are to die for and he occasionally gives them away for free.